Hello. Oh, I got to move this over here. Lori, let's just make sure this is all good. Hello. I'm sorry I had to go run. My little headphones are not working, so I had to go get my big clunky ones. So I had to go find them. Hello. Hi. Oh, I know exactly who y'all are. Are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Actually, you know what? Let me close this blind.
Okay, do it. I mean, it's good. It's bright. It's light. Mm.
Just the glare.
I don't know. So let me tell y'all something funny. Okay, so yesterday, um, and I know now why I said this. I think it was, hold on, let me go and look at my schedule. I think it was the exact same time that we would be having a session today. Hang on. It was 30 minutes. Well, I mean, we have an hour, so I had two 30-minute sessions during this time period yesterday. But I had a session with a person named Taylor, and we were channeling her mom. And in the middle of this session, I'll see if I can get the clip. I'm already asking her to see if I can use the session, but in the middle of her session, I kept getting the name Peter over and over and over again. And I actually think that it is, I'll look through this. Actually, hold on. Hold on. It's in here. I wrote it down and I was like, I don't know why. And she's like, no, I don't have any Peters. And sometimes they will show up the day before and it's the same time. And there's something about it being in the same vibration. And so when I just saw your appointment right now, I was like, that was Peter. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Uh-huh. No, that is exactly how that works. So just stay with me. I'm gonna go ahead and just vibe out for a second. Um, while I'm looking here as well. So who are you talking about with that? So they were so right as I was getting in, like I sat here for about a minute, then I was trying to figure out fiddle faddle with my headphones before I ran in here and got this one. And are y'all or is something about to go down with you, daughter, or is there something like super interesting or like breathtaking about to happen like within like the next, I don't know, 2 weeks? Like I don't know. The best way, so let me tell you what they showed me is they gave me, and I know you're not pregnant. I know you're not having a baby right now. I know not that nothing like that. Okay. I know
Oh
that's not
God.
a, yeah, I know. You're like, knock on wood, or this is metal, so we'll have to find some wood later. But they went through and they gave me this feeling of like this like that, and it is about to happen. And like when somebody is about to have a baby, and I go, but nobody's having a kid. And so the only thing that I can figure is that maybe there's this, hold on. So now I'm feeling in my brain and I'm saying, is there something to do with like work? Is there something to do with home? Is there something to do with vacation? Is there something to do with, so that's what I'm asking in my head. Hang on. Um, mm, okay, hold on. And then, so there, it may be something that my brain just doesn't understand. Um, hold on. Work is the same, everything is the same. Um, everything they put it in a pattern and it looks like a circle in my head. It's the same like that. So they're not showing me any bumps with that. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I want to figure this out because it was a big deal and I just got to figure out what it means. Hold on. Mm, mm. Did your husband, I can't, forgive me if I'm wrong, I can't remember everything, so I apologize on that. But there is no sister related to your husband, correct?
He has 3 sisters.
The sisters. Okay, it's like one of the sisters is like one of the kids of the sisters. Is there like something big that's about to happen? Like none of them are pregnant. None of them are getting ready to have a kid though, correct?
It's a good question. We don't really talk. We don't, well, we're not estranged, but we're not like besties
Close.
besties either.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
But there is a party coming up in 2
In
weeks.
2 weeks. What is that for?
Pete's parents' 65th wedding anniversary party. And like everybody, the siblings, the in-laws, the cousins.
It's huge. It's huge. Yes. Okay. I'm going to have to say that because it was like a wedding. It's a new beginning. 65 is a massive thing. I don't know anybody personally that has been married 65 years, including my parents. And so I would have to say that. And why are y'all not going?
We are going.
We are.
You are going. Okay, that's why. So they go like this. They go, make sure that you go and make sure that it's good and make sure that you have fun. And I'm going to even say there may be some sort of like little surprise or like interesting announcement that happens dealing with maybe the sister's kids to some degree. I don't know. And it could go along with baby. And it's just,
It'll be interesting to see.
yeah, so just email me and let me know. So why do they say this? One, it's exciting. Two, what will end up happening is when that happens, you're gonna go, that's weird. How did he know about like that? You're that's all that's gonna be. And so it's just gonna be another drop in the bucket for you to go, oh, they are here. Like that is the whole reason for it, okay? And good job for 2 weeks. Yeah, it's huge. And since I've never been to something like that before, the best way he can describe it is what he did. Why? Hey, good. Your husband is very happy uh to be here. Hold on. He was trying to talk about so y'all did stay, y'all didn't like go anywhere for the holidays. You stayed here, like you didn't go take a vacation for it instead of like staying around the house. What is that about?
We went to Europe right before the
You
holidays.
went to Europe right before. Okay. Did you end up where's Panettone from? That's
Italy.
Italy. Okay. Hmm. But y'all didn't make it down to Italy. Did you go to like Spain and France or where'd you go?
We were in Hungary, Austria, and Germany.
Okay,
We
so
took
over in
a
that
river cruise.
oh, oh my God, please email me. I was just looking at that the other day and I was like, I don't know.
Christmas markets, do it.
Do it.
Is it? Okay, I've never done it. I got the little brochure in the mail and I looked at my husband. I was like, this looks really cool and it's not terrifying like the ocean. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down as well. So there's
And
another
you can see
reason.
land on both sides. So
See, and that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that he's talking about the trip. He's talking about staying home for Christmas. He's showing me all that stuff. And so they went with you. Really big deal. Really happy about that. And hold on. Bittersweet, obviously, but y'all had a decent time. Like you really had, okay, good. A lot of times, like I know when my mom, my dad and my sister passed, and it was just anything fun, we kind of like felt guilty at first for doing it. And he's talking about how y'all had, or they're both talking about how you had a decent time. And George, there's not a George or like a G-E or J name that goes along with Pete and like his side of the family.
Jerry.
Jerry would work.
But past or not past?
It could be alive as well. Yeah, sometimes they name drop.
All I can think of is Jerry.
Yeah, his sister's husband.
Oh, that's his sister's husband. Okay, interesting. So and their kids are grown though?
Yeah, just
he's a year older than me. Yeah.
Just a year older than you. Okay.
6 months.
Okay. So gotcha. So this is there's a reason for everything being said. Do I know? So now in my brain, I'm asking him, I said, so now we're bringing it back to his sister's side, right? Like what we were hitting on before. Why is that? So in my brain, I'm saying, is this something to deal with the baby? Is this something to deal with like a big announcement? I'm getting an absolute nothing. So I don't know. It could be that there's something big that's going on with Jerry or about to happen. I would even say maybe going on in like the cardiac zone. So maybe he could be about to have something big dealing with that. He's not dying. Jerry's not dying, but it could be that there's some big like coming up that we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think y'all are exceptionally close to Jerry, but it's just another thing that, getting in with that. Hang. Oh, what would you say? Tell me.
Text him to get his heart checked.
Oh yeah, I would. Well, I mean, I would say if you're gonna go see him in 2 weeks, just ask. Like, don't go all the way to be like, oh, you should go get your heart checked. When you're there, if he's there, be like, so how are you doing? It's kind of like because we don't want to alarm anybody and freak anybody out, but we can like ask questions to like get information, right? And tell me who clogs. Clogs are from Austria, right? Or where are clogs from?
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Did y'all ever go there?
We're going there
in
in
April
April.
for my birthday.
He's going. Look how oh, he's so excited. Your son and your husband are so happy for you, and they just went. So what they did is they just showed me your cabinet behind you that you have, and he took off. This is how it looks in my head. He took off that top row where the picture and all that stuff is, not at the very top, at the top shelf, and he
Mhm.
put a pair of clogs there. So that's what it looked like for half a second. And I'm like, what? And so he's going to go with you to the Netherlands. And tell me, hang on. Says, don't worry about flying. They'll be safe. I said, I know. I agree. I like my husband. Um, he was planning in May going with his family to Hawaii. And I was like, I'm not going. Nope, y'all have fun. No, it's over water, whatever. But he's saying, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And what? Hang on. National Radar Service. That's not even a thing. Are you just putting words together in my brain? Hang on. That's the National Weather Service. Hold on. Give me a second. We have to. He's. Hmm. Recently, in this past, since we had a session, has anybody reached out to you? Like, as far as like either part of the team or part of like the news or part of a documentary or something like that?
About
Media.
what happened to them?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. So that may be something that could be coming up. Um, you get an email, call, what I don't know, however they want. They always do email with me.
Mhm.
Um, they show you. Hmm, you know, I don't know when this is going to happen. It could be this year. It could be in the next like two. I definitely think it's less than five. I think it's less than four, and I think it's less than three. So it'd be interesting to see. So they just show, you know how when they have like Netflix documentaries and they have the person talking and it's completely black behind them and they have that silhouette light and they're like, and this is da 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 da. Like they're
Yeah.
showing you, mom, talking in that situation, but then you're saying he's particularly making me hear, and I never gave up, and I never gave up, and I kept going, and we kept trying to find them. And it's almost like you're going to be talking about the story of perseverance and seeing it through and never giving up and finding it. And there's this big that goes with it. So I would not be surprised if either there's some, maybe it's even Netflix, I don't know, Hulu, somebody like that, that finds you and reaches out, and then you do this documentary. Make sure you get paid for it. Don't do it for free, okay?
No,
Mm.
of course not.
Okay, good. No,
He
some
would be
people,
very
I,
cross with me if I didn't get
yeah,
paid.
and that's probably why. No, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, I get to be on TV. How much fun!" Like he's like, "Quit your shit, do it." And
Don't
hold
need my
on.
check.
Yes, I exactly. Make sure. Is why? What are you doing? Your son's here too. Hold on, he just like showed up. Your son stays more in your house. They're both with God. They're great. Like I said before, but like I always see your son like walking through a doorway. So like walking through what I can only imagine is like a kitchen going into a living room or a kitchen going into um maybe hold on. Where are you going? Hang on. Uh how uh It's going to be an interesting question. Mind you, I've never been in your home before, so they're taking images from houses that I've seen before and trying to apply them to what your home looks like, okay? Um, do you have technically like you do have a walk-in pantry like in your kitchen though, correct? It's like a closet essentially.
It's open. It's like a butler's
Oh,
pantry.
it's a butler's pantry. Okay, okay, because he's
Mhm.
talking. And then do you have like right off of it, do you have what would be like a closet where you keep your brooms and like all that stuff like super close to it?
Well, there's a laundry room with the brooms are like in the corner.
It's like right there. Okay, and so that's like right next to the kitchen?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Yeah, he's talking about being in the kitchen and he's talking about like opening this one door and you have spices and you have all that. Then he's talking about walking across and being in this room or like this other walk-in pantry, which is that, and he's talking about grabbing the brooms or like helping. So he's like in the kitchen a lot, apparently because he likes to eat. I mean, obviously he's a growing man. That's what happens. And I have one of those as well. Why? Hang on. Did you know if your son ever suffered from, maybe this is y'all. Hold on. Was your husband getting really bad heartburn on everything? Really? Yeah,
Yeah, he
somebody
had a Tums
Next
like
to his bed.
next on the nightstand and in his office, and yeah.
really? Oh, that poor buddy. Okay, at first I thought it was your son, and then he's like, it feels like this. He's like switching it up. And he's talking about how this is kind of like a morbid joke, so just be with me. Remember when they're on the other side, they see things differently. He's like, well, if I wanted to pass this way, it would have been because of like stomach cancer or colon cancer or like issues with this. And he was like, oh, I had um indigestion or GERD or heartburn really bad all the time. And he's talking about how miserable it was, and now he doesn't have to have that anymore. Okay. So he's happy about that. And why? Oh, you couldn't throw out all the Tums though, you had to keep them?
I kept them for a while, and then
You then you
yeah.
got rid of them. Okay, because he goes like this,
Mhm.
he has you walking around and going, and I don't see like a tossing, so I was like, "Oh, she kept them. Maybe she's like me," because we're well, my dad was a Russian Jew, so I save everything. I don't like to throw it out. It's money throwing away. I mean, I do, but you know. And he what? Where? Click click. I know you had glasses. I know. Hang on. Where? Oh, I love your home. He very much is just waking up with you and going to bed. What are you talking about with that? Hang on. St. Pete. That is in Florida. Oh, we're back to Florida. You know what? I bet that's why I was watching a documentary this morning. Are you ready for this? On the growth of Orlando. Like that was the whole documentary, and that was the first thing that came on my television. I turned it on while I was drinking my coffee this morning, and I was like, "There's a reason." And so when I saw your session, I was like, that was where that was coming from. And
Mhm.
did hang on, hang on. He's trying to talk about where, where? Keys, giving you a kiss. Hang on. Interesting. Are you about to? Hmm. There's something about your car that he's trying to bring up. And hang on, hang on. Do we have 3 cars here right now?
So I own 3 cars. One of them is in Washington D.C. and the other 2
Where
are
I
here.
live, yeah.
Oh, what's the? Why is it in Washington D.C.?
That's where I live.
It's just where she lives.
Oh, that's over there. Okay, okay, because he goes like this. He goes, "Oh, three, cars, cars," and he says something about taking it away or going away, and that's because it's over there. The other thing too is with the 2 cars that you have here, have you ever considered turning them both in and then getting like a nicer, newer one altogether? I mean, yours are good right now. I mean, it's not bad. They're new, like they're good.
Yeah, well, one is an antique, which I would not
That's why.
get rid of. The other one is 14 years old, so that's a possibility that I'll.
We've talked about it before. You want like an SUV or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, so that
plans.
Because he goes through and he grabbed keys and he said, it's about time.
It probably is.
He
It's
probably did
about
think,
time. Yeah, the older that I get, the more I remember being younger and being like, oh my gosh, my car's 2.5 years old. I need to get a new one, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, all right, it's 10 years. We're going to run that thing into the ground. Why do I need a
Yep.
car payment?
We're buy and hold when it comes to cars.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
I'm
Now
not
with
going to get rid of the antique. So
No, don't. Well, let me see if he can tell me what that is. Hold on. Now, I don't know every single car, okay? So just stay with me, but let me see if he can bring that out. Hold on. Hmm. Who? Hang on. Oh, how interesting. So was your dad, um, he didn't know how to work on cars, but did he like marvel at the antique one, or did he really, really enjoy them?
my dad,
Yeah.
oh, which one?
the one I grew up with.
Multiple dads. I love it.
Well,
Sorry.
I asked because the
I
other
did.
one is dead, so.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So only because they're talking about, or is one of them like, hang on, 61. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hmm. Because you're born in what, 63?
66.
You're okay. I said, why are you showing me 61? I said, is that your age? Is that her age? He goes, no, 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 up, 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 up. And I go, okay. And so I went to like 1970, and he's like, no, 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 down a little bit. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So it's, I said 63. And tell me, hang on, tell me, is it an actual? I don't think it's what? You know what he keeps showing me? He keeps showing me a Ford Model T, which is odd. But maybe that means so the car itself is like 60 years old, like it's that old, or it's like from the 40s.
No, it's a 92.
Oh, it's a
Um,
92.
We
Is it a
did have a car
Ford?
from the 60s.
but we didn't know it was a 78.
Oh,
That we got
okay.
rid of. That was an MG midget.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's a pain in the ass.
and it had the engine of like a lawnmower, pretty much. And nothing
Super
computer.
tiny car.
Yeah, nothing computer about it. So you could basically like take it apart and put it back together again.
Oh,
But yeah, we got rid of, not we, like P got rid of it.
Pete got
Um,
rid of it.
but
Okay, yeah.
I have it's a BMW convertible 92. I still have
Oh,
I'll finally be able to drive it this year.
that.
yes! Okay, so I'm gonna have to say the reason why he showed the Ford Model T is because I've never heard of the other one before in my entire life. And so if you think about what the T's were, they go through and you can like change everything yourself. It has a small engine. You don't have to do anything with it. It's all hand done. And so that may be as close as possible. And when I think of classic cars or like antique cars, because my sister sells antiques, I automatically think antique means 100 years old plus. And then I was like, but they weren't really making cars in like 2024 that much. And so that's why I'm like, maybe it's a little bit, that's where that came from. And hang on, let me see. Come back over here. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Hmm, hold on. Mom, continue to drink more water. And she went through and he said, do you just have like swelling in your fingers and your hands in the morning? Is that it?
Sometimes,
Yeah,
yeah.
not bad, not terrible. He just went through and I drank this and I black tea in here. And he was like, no, no, no. He was like, you need to do better at that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Is that what do you have? Is that tea? What is that?
Water.
It's
Water.
water. Good. Continue to drink. So that's what he's saying. So continue to drink more water. And why? Hang on. Your son, hang on. Show me about that. He's a little bit lighter. Um, hang on. Now he's outside. Hold on. Mm. Were we planning on Was he planning on like going like fully away for college? Like going away, meaning like obviously in the United States, but like not living here?
He did.
He did.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
he was in Michigan State,
We went to the same
Oh,
college. He followed me to college.
but he was
that's why.
also planning on going to Italy for the summer. Remember?
He,
Yeah, because oh, he did. He was going to do the same program I did.
that's the okay,
Which
so that's the pro
I forgot
Italy.
about that.
Italy, Panettone. Okay, wait. Okay, so there's another mix. So he goes like this. He's standing in a driveway in my brain. He's just kind of like creating this in my head. And then he has this backpack on with a suitcase. And he says, "You know, I was planning on going away." And I said, "Well, why? Where were you going?" And he says, "I could have." And he says school or he says studying. And he says not around here though. He says I was really going to go away. And I go, "Oh, okay." And he says, "I didn't get to do that." And he's like a little disappointed, but he's okay, but now he can travel there whenever he wants. But he's fine. There is that sense of like hmm, that went with that. Like it hurt my heart when he said that. And why it was going to be great. Hold on. Uh better what? Better left unsaid. He doesn't like seeing you hurt, Mom. Doesn't like seeing that. Um, hold on. He's talking about how I know you miss your husband, I know you miss your dad, but he's talking about how like the potential lost is one of the biggest things, and I agree. And like the or like there's a feeling, and he's like just talking about that. And tell me, hold on. How was he getting to be like 5'11"? Where was he at that point?
Like
Not
6'3".
he is that tall. He's tall. Okay, sorry, because he
Mm-hmm.
comes up to me. He says I was gonna be tall, and I was only getting bigger. Or maybe I'd be like, maybe he grew. He was gonna get like another inch. And so for me, I'm 5'11", and so I'm huge. So he's like comparing himself for being giant, and I go, really? And he shows this big, like guys when they get taller, they get that like throat or like Adam's apple thing. And so he shows me that. So he's talking about being athletic and cute and tall and all that jazz. And he's still growing on the other side. And he, what? Even though he's still a spirit, but he goes back and forth. Hang on. Tell me. Yeah, hang on. So are you, he's grabbing your hair. Um,
Mine?
Yes, yeah, in
Okay.
my brain. He's going like this. Have you, I mean, it looks great. Don't do anything with it, but have you like considered back and forth? I mean, don't dye it. Please don't dye it, but like going and chopping it off or going and like doing something with it, or what is that?
Right before you got on the call, I said to Mom, I was like, I need a haircut.
And she was
Ah!
doing this.
And I was like, could you imagine me with hair like up to here? I would never. I was like saying I got long hair, but
But she was
I
Yes!
used to
doing
get a joke about it.
she
Yeah.
was doing this.
Right, that's what she was doing. Yeah, because he goes up and he grabs like that. And then he says, he has you going, well, I don't know. I don't know. I need to do this or I should do this. And he's like, don't dye it. Don't go too short. And he actually showed you with like short hair. And he's like, no, not yet. No, not
Not
yet.
yet.
Don't do
Not
it. Don't
ever.
do it. Now, I think I'm just going to tell you, I think you are going to do it, but I think you're going to do it in about 10 years. And you're looking at me, you're like, Amy, shut up. But just wait. It's going to be a thing. And hold on. Yeah. So he was here. He was in your house. Like I said, your son hangs out in the home with you. Okay. Your husband does too, but your son really walks around here quite a bit. And oh, you know what? I don't even have my spirit box on. Hang on. Let me see. Okay. Oh, come here. Boom. It's on. Okay,
Okay.
hold on.
We would love to know, speaking of
What?
the house,
What?
if
Yeah.
we also have a house spirit. That's
Oh.
not Peter, that's not Daniel.
I'm convinced.
Oh, I mean, you probably do have a
Okay.
house spooky. Hang on. When was your house built though? How long ago?
1897.
You got quite a few house spookies. Hold on. Do you know? Okay, look at this. Look what it just, oh, it just went away. It said, I want to test him. So it's a guy. Hold on. Hang on. So there is a basement here though?
Mhm.
Okay. Is it like partially refinished?
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's not, there's no drywall or anything, if that's
Oh, yeah,
what you
yeah,
mean, but
yeah. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. See, we don't have basements over here. And so for me, I go either between fully refinished or like my great uncle's basement was in like the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and it was essentially rock walls from the mountain and then dirt floors. And so somewhere
I
in the
have
middle.
concrete floors, but rock
Rock walls.
walls,
Okay.
masonry.
Okay, yeah, because they go like this. He says, yeah, they live in the basement or they're in the basement. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's because it's quiet. That's why. Whenever, and that's also why spirits come out at night. It's not because, oh my God, it's spooky or it's scary. It's because your energy or your vibration when you're walking around the room, you disturb their current. And so they don't want to freak you out. So they kind of like hide away. That's what happens. So let's see. Hold on. Who? A fool. What? Tell me about that. Um, Give me a second. Where are you going with that? Hmm. Do you have, do you know if this home belonged to a merchant?
I don't know.
Okay. Could you find inform? I know you can. I know you can
Yeah,
confirm
I mean,
that.
I want to do research
Yeah.
on the history of the house and who's owned it before.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I want to get into that.
Oh my, well, if you ever don't have time, I know that I don't have time, but that's one of my favorite things to do. So if you want to send me your information, I will go and snoop around. We'll see what we get here and we'll see if it matches up. Oh my God. My property, I used to feel stuff as soon as I got here, and my property was an old cotton plantation. And what, yes, very, very cottony plantation. Let's just say that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hold on. There is, hang on, one, hold on. So there is an upstairs though, right? I think we confirmed that before. Yes. And then are there three bedrooms upstairs or three like
4
bedrooms up
bedrooms
there?
upstairs.
Yeah. Oh,
So one
there's
of them we don't
four.
use as a bedroom.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, because he goes like this. He goes bed, 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 and then it feels almost like there's like a missing thing. Is that other one, is that like an office type of thing, or what is that as?
It's like a TV and a couch.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, so it's like a
So
sitting area. I'm gonna call it that. And it just
Yes.
said white writing. So maybe one of those was usually like a writing room at some point. And there is a woman that seems to be, just FYI, there's a woman that seems to be very preoccupied with just going up the stairs and going to the left, going up the stairs and going to the left. And it just feels over and over and over again. As soon as you go up your stairs and like you look to your left, is there like an entrance to a bedroom right there?
There's actually entrance to the finished attic.
Oh, that's the attic.
Hmm.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Because we're talking about, and that's a little door that you have to go up into. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's what that is. So a spooky's in the attic. Interesting. So I would have to say that there is some female, it almost just looks like this: repeat, 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 repeat. And so you may get some interesting feelings right there. Maybe it goes with like an S name because somebody just popped in my head of like Sandra. Not saying it is Sandra, but you know, back then I don't know every single name. I haven't heard every single name, so it could be like an S, so like a Sandra or Sandra. What?
the attic door opens by itself all the time.
Really?
Well, like it's the wind. I'm like the wind isn't inside.
The air pressure will open
Oh,
the door.
okay, I would say leave the AC off if you can for a while, so do your own thing. Or the other thing that I'd like you to get if you ever have a chance, I'll send you links to them later. So I have all of my ghost hunting equipment over here. And a lot of times when I'm having sessions, especially if somebody's more in a middle vibrational state, which means that they committed suicide or something like that, they'll be able to set this stuff off a lot easier. Or if somebody's more like stuck in the home, your son is in heaven, but like this woman would probably be able to set it off. So if you put like one of these motion sensor toys down in front of the door, or if you put like a REM pod in front of there and you wait in the evening and maybe you're in your rooms and you're hanging out and you hear it go off, it's because you're catching her repetitive energy over and over and over again. Now, I don't know what
I
happened to
hear
her.
footsteps up the stairs.
You hear footsteps up there?
I've never
Interesting.
heard of it.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, up the stairs, like in like yeah,
Mm.
at
That could
night.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always at night because that's how they're manifesting it because we're calm and we're focused.
I'm a night owl, so
Oh,
like
so mom, it looks like you need to stay up with her. And tell me, hang on, who? Maybe there's like an Edward or like an Ed or an Ed something. Um, Hang on. Write that down. Who? So with this home, are we in what would be the parlor right now?
No,
Okay,
no,
interesting.
this is
Why?
like an office, like by the front.
Oh, this is by the front. Okay, would there been a piano here? Do you know?
Yeah, there's a
next
piano
room.
in the next room.
Okay, somebody's talking about the piano and viewing the piano in this area. And when I've studied history, it's like pianos are always in like the entertainment area or like right next to it. So that's that. There's a gentleman that is walking around that is not too interested in me or y'all, but it's just like wouldn't even be surprised if he wasn't the head of one of these families in like the early 1910s, maybe even like 1907, 1906. And he's just kind of like walking around in very high-waisted pants, and he's the one talking about the piano. So like there's the woman that keeps repeating herself, and I think that's like residual energy. um and then I think there's a gentleman that was like an old owner. I don't know if they're actually connected. It almost feels like one of them shows me as like an Edwardian hairstyle, so how it has like the this with like the thing up top, like the women, but then he feels like when my grandfather was born, like in the 20s or like in the late 1900s. And so he's around, but he like paces
By
back
the
and forth.
piano.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Like right, it's like kind of in this area. And through the
so,
piano.
so the dog, I have a beagle. He's not home right now. But I have
He'll stop and stare.
a sectional couch, and he was perched on the end of it,
Uh-huh.
staring towards the piano to nothing. There was nothing
And he'll
there,
bark.
and he was staring, and his hackles were up, and his tail was tucked. And I was like, Maximus,
Like there's
Maximus.
nothing there.
It's the guy. It's the guy. He's not bad though. This is just his home. It's almost like he's super focused on thinking about stuff. Like if somebody is, planning their business, or if somebody is planning, their next empire. Like that's kind of what this guy feels like. But you definitely, if you got in his way, or if got in his path, there's nothing bad, but you'd feel him. You just feel kind of like this focused masculine energy, which is not bad. Hold on. Hang on. I where hold on. So by the time that y'all moved into the house, the kitchen had already been redone at that point, or like to what it is set at now, correct?
Well, I made some changes. Like I changed the floor in
Added
the
the butler's
kitchen,
pantry.
added the butler's pantry,
Okay.
and then changed the cabinets and the flooring in the laundry room as well.
Oh, okay. But all were like the placement of like the refrigerator and all that stuff. That was all the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because somebody's talking about changing it all up. And I go, yes, that would happen over like the 100 years or whatever it is. And I said, well, what about her? Did she do that? And they go, no. That was previous people. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so they're happy with what you did. And tell
Good.
me, did y'all end up uh Where? Do y'all have a big vent hood? Like tall, or is it just like really like is it really big?
It's not huge. I mean, it's over the range.
Oh, okay. Is the rage in the middle or where's it at? It's on the wall though, right?
In the middle, yeah.
Oh, it
Yeah, it's in
is.
the middle.
It is. Okay, yeah. They keep talking about this vent hood that goes up and I'm like, "Okay, I don't know why." And it's metal though, right? It doesn't have like
Mhm.
wood around. Okay. Like mine we have wood around it and everything like that. And so they're talking about that for some reason. Hang on. Hang on. Baffle. Maybe you need to change the baffle in it. Or coming up soon. I have no idea why. They're going to give you tips. Hang on.
Turn the page in my notebook then.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. With who? Your husband is now talking about how does the heat come out of the floor?
No,
The heated bathroom floor upstairs, Mom just put in
just gutted the bathroom upstairs, and I have a heated floor up
because
there
there was
now.
like water damage and stuff, so we just did the whole.
There
We
was
did the whole
water
thing.
damage. You had the water damage. Okay, your husband was talking about he's going underneath the best, I've never had that before. So he's talking about he shows me pipes, he shows me explosion, and I go, "What are you talking about?" And then he goes, "I would have been there to fix it or I could have done this, blah blah blah." And he says, "Oh, what I would have known. I would have hired somebody." And then he went through and he made me feel heat coming up from the floor and I'm like, "What is this magic?" Is we don't have that down here in Texas.
Christmas Eve.
Well, that's something different. I had a
Well, she
burst
said
pipe,
burst pipe.
in the kitchen on Christmas Eve, but the heated floor is in the new bathroom upstairs.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to say that's both because what were we just talking about? We were talking about the vent hood, right, which is in the kitchen. The burst pipe thing comes up, and then the heated floor, and then the burst pipe thing. So I'm gonna have to say that's all kind of together. And so they're recognizing everything that's been going on in your home since he's been not physical.
Right.
Okay, and also your house spooky is obviously knows that as well. Hold on. I'm gonna call him either Ed or George. It's gonna be one or the other, and it could be that his name is like Edward George. Like there's something that goes with that. So, ooh,
I
where
can
is
call him
there?
by name if I want to talk to him.
Yeah, well, no, you do, or just address him as Sir.
Hmm.
Because that's always respectful. Is there like a Colin Street or like a Colin name near you? It doesn't seem like a person. It seems like a location.
Not that I can think of, but I can write that
Mm,
down.
mm. Just write it down. And none of y'all are going to Texas anytime soon, correct?
2026.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, also one of my best friends is moving to Texas in the summer.
oh, are they going to like Dallas area? Where are they going?
Dallas.
That's where that's coming from. Okay, hold on. Are you ready for this? So there's a bakery right outside of Dallas that I go to, or when I drive to Dallas, and it is called Collin Street Bakery. And so he's trying to bring my brain over to Dallas, and he's talking about that. So that's another thing that they know about. That's how spirits talk. They talk in like very interesting cryptic ways. And tell me, oh my God, it just said my husband's name, Chris. Because there's no Chris associated with y'all, correct?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you would know. Hold on. How interesting. Hang on. Sent that to him. He's gonna freak out about that. Hold on. Now your husband's trying to tell me my family's name. Hold on. What? Go back over here. It just said Ed. Oh my God. Okay, look up this name too. Write down the name Edna. Edna.
Edna? No.
Yeah, it just said Edna. I've never seen that name in my entire life, and I have nobody associated. So write down Edna and see if you
The
can find
Incredibles?
something on that. And I know. Oh, is that from there?
The
Okay.
Incredibles? Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch that. Hang on. Tell me. Hold on. And so what? Where? No, y'all are not near hockey. Why were y'all going to Chicago? Or did y'all end up going to Chicago? Or like, did y'all end up going to Niagara Falls?
Well, Dan and I went to Niagara Falls
years ago.
Really?
It was like
Okay.
2009 or something. No, 2007.
7, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so a long time ago. Okay, yeah, so this is what he just did. He goes like this. I said, "So what else do you want to talk about? What's up?" And he went and he put on a hockey jersey in my head. And I know he doesn't like hockey. I know it's not a thing for you, but for me, hockey means think about north, think about more north. And so he's talking about cold, freezing temperatures with a lot of water falling around me. And I go, what? And then he shows me I went to a waterfall thing in Chicago. And then when you said no, he reverted over to Niagara Falls. So essentially, so he's trying to remind you of that. That would be one of
Well,
them.
I'm going to Canada in 2 days.
You're going to Canada in 2 days?
Yeah.
Hockey! That's like
Yeah.
the biggest thing up there. And since I've never been to Canada, maple syrup and
Neither has
hockey.
Meredith.
Neither have
Yeah.
I.
Are you going to go
Yeah.
into like Edmonton or where are you going?
Montreal.
Oh, you're going to Montreal.
We
Okay.
looked
Okay.
into going into a hockey game, but they're away when we're there. So
Oh, real?
I'm
Okay.
not going. She's going with a friend.
Oh, so you're just going to go by yourself? Okay, so know that your dad's going to go with you and that your brother's going to go with you and like go have fun and enjoy. And apparently, you're going to get clogs later as well. So that's good. And they're very much into being a really big part of your life. Hold on. Grapes. Why'd you show me that? Um, oh, hold on. That's something. Amethyst. Uh, what is that? Birthstone month. When is that? February. Who's the February birthday? Or what is, I mean, we're in February or we're about to be out of it. Or what does February have to do with anything for y'all or for him or for your son?
February 22nd is the anniversary of when Pete and I met in 1988.
That's a good year. That's when
they
I was
would always
born.
celebrate that instead of their wedding anniversary.
Yeah,
Do
pretty
you
much.
do you really?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, he went through and he showed me amethyst for like a ring, right? And amethyst is for the month of February. And so he's talking about that. So it's like, I'm celebrating this with you. I'm remembering this. I know this. And so there you go. Okay.
37 years. That
30.
seems like a crazy amount of time.
Isn't it nuts? Isn't it crazy? I was just thinking about today how fast time seems to be flying. And it's nuts. And yeah, he's still with you the whole time. Hold on, let me what? What do you mean? Why? Maybe you're gonna end up having something to do with, but right now, mom, your teeth are perfectly fine. Like you have no little cavities or like what's happening with that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Watch out for something maybe coming up on the top right. Where's it at? You have your canine. One, two, two? No, three. Third back from the canine. Um, And so that's never fun going through that. But he shows me black spot, and then he shows me you going like this. So I know you have really good hygiene, but just wait.
Are you
Just
sure it's
wait.
not me?
Oh, do you have literally that one going on?
No, I just have a lot. I have like 5 or 6 cavities. So
Well, why are you not going to the dentist?
I do go to the dentist. I'm just really prone to them. My teeth have deep grooves.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I
I
wanted,
said blame genetics. My dad had
Uh-huh.
like silver teeth, so
yeah, I had great teeth. Pete didn't.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so he had a lot of fake teeth?
Not fake, but he had a lot of cavities.
He did. He had a lot of cavities and caps. Okay, so all of these, all of my molars on my left side of my face, they're all fake. They're all implants because my teeth crack all the time. And so he was making me feel my mouth, but he was talking about it's more on the other side. So I'm like, okay, so he's like giving somebody hell for that. What were you going to ask me?
So I was going to ask you about my grandfather,
Oh, okay.
my mother's father, and I pulled up a picture.
Oh, well, just tell me. You don't even have to. Tell me his first name only.
Keith.
Hold on. Hang on. I love this. This is such a fun game. It's so fun to talk to them. Hold on. Let me see if I take a
They are
screenshot of
quite
that.
entertaining.
Yeah, they're so great. Hang on. I swore I took a picture of that for some reason. Hang on. I got Keith earlier today on this thing, and I actually messaged my friend Keith and I said, "Are you okay? Are you live? I haven't talked to you in 4 years." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Why?" Um, do you know if your grandfather had anything to do with working in or around the railroad?
I'm going to say yes, like a long time ago. He was from when I was growing up, a construction estimator, engineer guy, but
Oh,
I think um, as a young boy, like growing up in Colorado, he did other
other
stuff.
things. Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, somebody just went through and they showed me if somebody's putting down the railroad and I'm like or like working in this and I'm like, no, the Chinese did that in California. It wasn't just us. And they're tell me, hang on, let me see. Hold on. M-A. There's an M-A name that's associated with that. Hold on. Bless you. Hang on.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Is there like a Margaret or like a Mary or a Mar something that goes along with him? Since I don't know all of them, that's the closest I get for MAR names.
I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to ask my aunt
Okay.
because
Okay.
there's a lot of stuff that's come out of the woodwork over the last number of years.
Okay. Okay. Hold up. Let me see. Yeah. So just ask about that and let me know. It's just Mar, and then usually that's MAR, MA. Hold on. Let me see. Hang on. What was going on? Uh-huh. Did that? Did your grandfather? Somebody keeps saying I'm a good man. I'm a good man. I said, okay. There's definitely somebody that's a little bit more edgy than your husband. Your husband feels bright, light, and poppy. Like every single time I look at you, I'm expecting to see him stand behind you. And but there is, did your grandfather, um, do we know that if he was like married to the grandmother, but he had like another like wife or like had other things going? Okay.
Is news to me.
Oh.
So apparently, and I don't know her name, but he was married before my grandmother. Yeah, but it was like thou shalt not speak of it kind of thing.
Okay.
I didn't know until right now.
You were
Okay.
you were just 6 years old,
Okay. See, now we
but he
know.
didn't have
Okay.
any children of that marriage.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because your husband's talking for him and with him. And he says, he wasn't always the saint of what we think he was. And then he says, "Oh, I'm a good man." And he says, "What do you mean?" He says, About the wife before the grandmother?" And he was like, "Well," and I'm like, "Well," and so there's that grand pause there. And oh, hold on. Tell me. Hang on. Ah. What do you mean you traveled around? No, you didn't, did you? Oh. Weird. So was your grandfather, was he rejected from the service because of like vision or something, or he wasn't allowed to go in, or he didn't go in? I mean, I don't think he went in, but do you know if he was rejected?
That would probably be my grandfather, but he's still alive.
Um,
It's okay.
my other grandfather, my father's father,
Uh-huh.
um, he he did not go into the service
Yeah.
because he was had like two young boys at home, my grandfather and my uncle.
Uh,
Um,
Well, Grandpa got rejected. My grandpa
from
Her-
Vietnam
yeah,
because of his
because of his vision,
vision.
but he's still alive.
Mhm.
Really? Okay, no, they could be talking about him as well. I just want to let you, as somebody's talking about the service. So this is the way I would take that sentence. So as he's talking about it, he's talking in feelings. So he says, "Oh no, I never went into the service, or I never was in it." He says, "But so and so was rejected because of vision." Like that's it. And so I don't know if it was him, but he's probably talking about him. So he's like comparing this, and he what? Hang on, tell
I
me.
wasn't Papa in the service.
Where was? Hang on. Hold on. Is his wife like bef I don't know if she's passed or not. I don't feel her with him if that is the case. But like beforehand, had she like absolutely deteriorated to nothing? Okay, because he goes, "Oh my God, she was like just like a corpse. Like she had went down to absolutely nothing." And he says, "Oh, but she's fine now." So I guess this means she's crossed over. But
Yeah.
he's talking about her and saying she's fine now, she's okay. But he's definitely around. They would be together, but I think he's the only one here along with your husband because he's the one bringing him in and your son. Um and oh, Roger, hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. Hang on. You never had a dog named like King or anything like that, or like something along that lines.
Actually, Aunt Kathy, my first cousin,
Uh-huh.
um, they had a beagle named King.
They had a beagle named King, just like
Yeah,
you have a beagle here.
yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to say absolutely yes. Somebody goes like this. They go, "Oh, and tell him King's here." And
I
then they
tell
showed
nothing.
me, yeah, they showed me King like Ariel's dad, like King Trident or whatever it is, like all the kings, and they showed me like King Henry, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so the beagle is running around with your beagle. So you have a dead beagle and a live beagle running around your house together. Okay, that's what's going on. That
Oh,
may be another thing that's happening.
okay, that's
And
so
oh,
cute.
it
Yeah.
just said them together, so
Aw.
yeah, so they're all here, and
Love how
why?
that's what gets us to this whole
Uh,
conversation. The two dogs playing together. Like, oh my
it's the two dogs playing together with like the guy from like the 1910s walking around next to the piano, and then your brother is like outside hanging around, going to Italy, watching it, and going to Sweden with you or Netherlands having clogs. And why? Tell me. Yeah, but your grandfather is around. He'll pop in and out. But I think because your husband and your son are so prevalent, like they're your main guides, they're around. What did you want to know for your grandfather, besides if he knew that?
So I wanted to know if he was the one responsible for preventing my um, being caught up in the baby scoop era.
What's a baby scoop? What is baby scoop?
So in the
Heard of
40s,
that?
50s, 60s,
Hmm.
um, women who were not married and found themselves pregnant,
white
Hmm.
women.
white women mostly,
Hmm.
would go to these maternity homes and would be convinced slash coerced into giving up their baby for adoption so that um,
Sometimes
basically
against their will.
but
Yeah.
mostly against their will, a white Christian couple could adopt them. And records were erased of, your original origin. Um, and so that was the baby scoop era. And so you may remember from our last session, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
My biological
Yes.
father
Hmm.
came through.
Yes.
I'm finding out all this like 3 years ago, right?
Mhm.
And my mother was one of a small percentage of women who did not give up their baby.
Hmm.
And she's like,
Her mom wanted her.
yeah, my grandmother wanted, you know, and I think it was my grandfather who um, prevented that and
Prevented that.
basically changed his whole life for a couple years to remove, start a new life in New Jersey.
Yes.
Um,
Okay. Okay. I would have to say just because of how he feels and how strong he is. Hold on. Give me a second. Hang on. I just said yes on my spirit box. So I would have to say yes. Hold on. Where? It said coerce. Coerce.
coerce.
Uh-huh. Sorry, my Texas accent has a hard time saying that. Hold on. Too many R's. Hold on.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, exactly. I I think he may have gone in there and like had either a stern talking to the people that would have done this, or he had a stern talking to your grandmother and your mom, and he's showing me an image of a finger on a table being like, you don't do this, you don't and it's like if somebody's staring at you like that. So I would have to say he probably knew something was going on and just like pre-warned them to not, or he heard about it and like told them no. Okay, so I would have to say yes. I'd have to say yes. Okay. So
Yeah.
this is what I want you to do because I just looked at my time. I do have to run to my next session, otherwise they're gonna kick my butt. But um, y'all just have an amazing house. You have an amazing family. You have a great life. And I want you to know, I know sometimes when you turn the lights off and it gets quiet, that it may feel lonely or that nobody's there. Let me tell you, that's not the case.
We got a full house.
Oh, yes, you have a very full house. It is very interesting. It is very cool. It's good. It's teeming with life, and all you have to do is learn how to feel it. And so they're just here. It's just we have to tune ourselves to try to figure out how to feel it. Okay?
So I did have this one. I know you gotta
What?
go.
You're okay. Tell me.
This instance where I was in bed. It was dark. It was late,
Yeah.
and I had a male voice in my head say, "Lori," and I didn't recognize the male voice. Like definitely wasn't Pete. It wasn't my grandfather. It wasn't Dan. I was like,
Mm.
nothing else came after that, but it was so clear.
Clear. Clear. Yes. It's clear. There's two ways that you hear voices. One, it can sometimes sound like almost like you have a headphone in your ear and you can hear the vibration in your head almost. It's weird. It's really clear. The second way that you hear it, it's almost like if you're hearing somebody talk but they're like a room away. But you can hear everything, and it's weird because it's mixed between hearing it and then knowing it, and then you still feel it, like all that's the same. And so that I would have to say that's probably the gentleman that's here with you, that's around, because he's going to be watching and protecting y'all because you're two ladies in this home. That's what they like to do, so it's all about
Mm.
protection. And then what about you? Tell me, what were you going to say?
I just have like I know you have to go. I'm really
You're
sorry.
okay,
I
I
just have
love
one
you.
question
Yeah,
that I
what?
wanted to ask. Just basically like what my dad and my brother think of my life in general.
Oh, well, I mean, hold on. Mhm. When you go with this friend, do not, and I don't think you're going to, but do not take any drinks in any bars. Do not, like, this is going to sound weird, but do not get anybody's number. Do not go that route at all when
Okay.
you're going up here. I don't know. It just doesn't feel good. Now, you're not dying. There's nothing like that, but it just feels like if you did something like that, it would end up making you have a stressful situation, and they don't want that for you. The other thing is, like, as soon as you said what did they think of my life, I think it's very, very good. I think you're on the precipice of, like, opening up and moving out and going even further. I don't think you need to go anywhere right now. I think you're great where you're at. Essentially, they keep saying, like, in time, in time, in time. Um, I think that over the next 3 years, like later on in the 3 years, like things will be obviously different, but just have patience. So do I think it's good? Yeah.
Okay.
Chill.
I just like, yeah, I'm unemployed at the moment, and it's like kind of, I'm like thinking about all the time, like, oh God, Dad would be on my case right now.
Well, yeah, he would. Well, that's why it's just like chill. It's almost like good, and that may be with. So with this time that you have right now being unemployed, why don't you take, so this is what your dad is talking about. Why don't you take time to learn a new skill? And before you say, I don't know what I want to do, well, you never knew what you wanted to do in the first place. So why don't you just try something?
It's so much, that sounds so much like
Yeah.
Daddy.
Uh-huh.
Every time I
So,
date somebody new too, I'm like, okay, would Daniel make fun of me for dating?
uh-huh. Oh, absolutely. Well, that's why your dad's specifically like bringing up the dating thing and going to Canada. Like, don't do it. Like, there's an odd like feeling of like you being like, oh my God, I don't know if they put something in my drink. Like, that is where I'm coming from with that. Okay,
Okay.
so be very careful. But
Okay.
I would say take time to learn a new skill. Take time. I would even say another, and this is going to sound really, really weird, and you're going to be like, well, I don't know how to do that at all. Maybe you should even look into learning how to edit content and videos. Okay. And you're like, why? Well, because I mean, people are paying $500 a pop for a 1 minute video for somebody to edit, and they're having a shortage of people do that. And you can go on YouTube and you can learn all about every single editing software like Premiere Pro. And then you find billions and billions of people that need somebody to do this for them. And you do it all from your house, and you do 3 videos a week, and you make $1,500 a week. And then boom, you're done. And it takes you an hour and a half. So you work for an hour and a half and you made $1,500 in 1 week.
Should like write that down, Mom.
Yes, you should.
It's like funny because like I like jobs that I've been looking at, like I really am interested in doing is like PR, and maybe potentially going and like looking at a master's in communications or something like that. And like you need experience in editing software to do that.
Okay, well, that is what you need to
So
do.
I was
Do
like,
that.
I
And
gotta
then,
learn that.
yeah, so look at editing software and just do it. Take it day by day. Believe me, it's easy. It's not hard. And then from there, when you start editing, then you can start marketing, and then you know people, and then people will come to you. And then you essentially start your two businesses based off this one thing that you learned. Okay. But you have to start somewhere now. All
Okay.
right. Okay. All right. I
We'll
love
be
y'all.
on your live tonight.
Okay. I will see you there. And I
Okay.
freaking love y'all. All right.
Thank
Bye.